Have you ever created a brand new Pinterest account, published your first pins, and then checked your analytics, and then you see 4 impressions, maybe 3 impressions, or sometimes even zero, and you start thinking, did I do something wrong? Is Pinterest suppressing my account? Maybe Pinterest doesn't work anymore. Well, today I want to tell you something very important, guys. Your new Pinterest account may not be dead at all. In fact, one of the biggest mistakes I see Pinterest beginners make is judging a brand new account using the same expectations they have for an established account. So in this video, I'm going to show you why a new Pinterest account can look completely dead, what might actually be happening, and how I would diagnose the account before even giving up on it. And towards the end, I will give you a simple 30-day Pinterest account test. Let's get into it. So let's start with a simple question. What do you actually mean when you say my Pinterest account is dead? Usually you're looking at your analytics. You see very few impressions, you see very few saves, very few clicks, maybe no outbound clicks at all. And because the numbers are small, you assume Pinterest isn't distributing your content. But here's the problem, guys. You're looking at the result without even understanding the stage your account is in. Think about it this way. Imagine you open a brand new shop. You put up 5 products. Nobody knows what your shop is about. Nobody knows what you sell. Nobody knows who your customers are. Would you expect thousands of people to walk through the door tomorrow? Probably not. Pinterest is a little different, of course, but basic idea is useful, right? A new account has very little historical information, guys. Pinterest needs time and data to understand what your account is about and which audiences might find it useful. So when I see a new account with very low impressions, I don't immediately say the account is dead. I ask what signal is this account giving Pinterest? And that's a much better question. So the reason number one why you don't see any progress on Pinterest is that Pinterest doesn't really know you yet. This is probably the first thing that I would look at, guys. A new Pinterest account has very little history. Pinterest doesn't have years of information telling it. This creator consistently publishes content about this topic. People who like this creator's pins also like these topics. These keywords are strongly associated with this account. That history doesn't exist yet, guys. So you need to give information to Pinterest. And I'm talking about repeated information. So let's say your account is about kids craft. Your first pin can be about pumpkin craft. Your second pin can be about clay dinosaur craft. Your third pin can be about paper animal craft. Your fourth pin can be about fall crafts for kids. Your fifth pin can be about Halloween classroom crafts. So there is already a relationship between these topics, guys. They are not identical, but they are connected. Now compare them with this. Your first pin talks about clay pumpkin. Your second pin talks about easy chicken recipes. Your third pin talks about living room decor. Your fourth pin talks about Pinterest marketing. Your fifth pin talks about Halloween costume ideas. Now you have given Pinterest a completely different signal, guys. The problem isn't necessarily that any individual pin is bad. The problem is that your account is sending mixed signals. So if you're creating a new account, I would rather see you become extremely clear about your main topic rather than trying to cover everything immediately. Another reason that I think why your Pinterest account's needle is not moving is that you're posting random content. This is closely related to the first problem, guys, but I want to separate them because I see this mistake all the time. People think I'm going to post whatever I have, and that's understandable. You have 50 blog posts, you want to promote all 50 of them, so you create 50 pins for everything. But when you're trying to establish a new Pinterest account, I would think in content clusters, guys. Let's say your main topic is kids craft. Don't just create random kids craft content, guys. Create groups. For example, clay crafts, then fall crafts, then Halloween crafts, then animal crafts, then paper crafts. Now Pinterest has more context, and you also have a better chance of creating relationships between your content. This is one of the things I would focus heavily on when starting a new account. Don't just publish more related content. That's a big difference. Another reason why I see your Pinterest account not succeeding is that your pin is not giving enough information. For example, imagine your pin says cute fall ideas. That's it. A human might understand what you're talking about, but it's extremely broad, guys. Now imagine the pin that says 12 easy fall classroom crafts for kindergarten. That's much more specific. Immediately we have several concepts such as fall, classroom crafts, kindergarten, kids craft, easy crafts. That's useful context, guys. And this is where Pinterest SEO comes in. Your keyword isn't just something you put into one field and forget about it. I think about the entire pin as a collection of signals. Your pin title, your pin description, your text overlay, board name, board description, destination page, images, overall content topic. All of these can help create context around your content, guys. And that's why I don't like vague pin titles. If the content is about air dry clay Halloween crafts, tell Pinterest that. Don't make Pinterest guess. Another reason why you feel the progress is slow is that you're judging the account too early. This is probably the biggest psychological trap, guys. You create your account, you publish 5 pins, you wait 2 days, you check your analytics, nothing happens. So you think Pinterest is not working. Then you stop. This is where I think a lot of people make a mistake. Pinterest is not necessarily something I would judge from a handful of pins, guys. Instead, I would give myself a defined testing period. And that's why I like the idea of a 30-day test. Not because 30 days is some magical Pinterest number, it isn't. I'm using 30 days as a practical testing window, guys. During that period, I want to collect information. Which topics are getting impressions, which pins are getting saves, which pins are getting clicks, which keywords seem to be gaining traction, which content clusters are completely flat. Now we have something to analyze. So instead of saying Pinterest hates my account, we can say this topic is getting signals while this topic isn't. That's a much more useful conclusion. For example, if you look at my newly created Pinterest account, which I created while doing my previous video as a case study, you will see that this account has barely gained anything in a week's time. I would not be discouraged with that, guys, as I know it will take some time for my account to gain traction and have some historical data. So I need to keep publishing to see what part Pinterest likes and then adjust my account over time. Another reason why you feel your account is slowing down is because you are comparing your 1 week account with someone else's 5 year account. This is another big mistake that I would want you to avoid, guys. You find another Pinterest creator, you look at their analytics, maybe they have 500,000 monthly impressions or even a million monthly impressions, and you are sitting at 300. Then you think, what am I doing wrong? But you don't know the history of that account. Maybe they have been publishing for years, maybe they have hundreds of pieces of content, maybe they have built strong topic associations over time, maybe they have content that has consistently performed. You're looking at their current results, you're not looking at their journey. So don't compare your day 10 with somebody else's 5 year account. That's one of the worst things you can do when starting a Pinterest account. Instead, compare your day 10 with your day 1, then compare your day 30 with your day 10. That's where your real progress is. And lastly, let's talk about your analytics. A lot of beginners look at only one number, and that is impressions. And yes, impressions matter, guys, but I don't want you to stop there. Think of Pinterest as a funnel. You have impressions, then potentially engagement, then pin clicks, then outbound clicks, and depending on your content type, you might also care about saves. So imagine your new account gets 1000 impressions, you get 15 saves, 30 pin clicks, 5 outbound clicks. Is that automatically bad? No, it's the data, guys. And that's the mindset I want you to develop. Don't look at a small number and immediately label your account as a failure. Ask, what is the number telling me? Because even a small amount of data can give you clues. With all that said, here's what I would actually do if I launched a brand new Pinterest account today, which I did in this case. As you see, this is a new account and this account was set up as a case study. This same account that I had set up live in my previous video to see how it progresses. So I divided the first 30 days into 4 stages. Week 1 would be clarity. I would choose one main content area, in this case, teaching Pinterest marketing, guys, and I would not choose 10 different directions. Just one direction is enough. Then I would create several pieces of content around related subtopics. The goal is simple: give Pinterest a clear data of what this account is all about. Then week 2 would be all about consistency. I would continue publishing related content, guys. I would not suddenly jump into 5 unrelated niches because one pin did not perform. I would give the account more data. Then week 3 is all about analysis. In week 3, I would start looking for signals, guys. Which topics are getting impressions, which pins are getting saves, which keywords are showing activity, which content gets absolutely nothing. I'm not trying to find a viral pin, guys. I'm trying to find patterns. Then in week 4, I would absolutely double down on what's working for me. Now I would take the topics showing the strongest early signals and create more content around them. This is important, guys. I don't want to keep producing content completely blindly. I want the account to teach me something. With all that said, when should you actually worry? Now let's be fair, guys. I'm not saying every low performing new account is perfectly healthy. Sometimes there are some problems which you must address. So when would I investigate further? I would start asking questions like, are my pins actually being pushed correctly? Are my links working? Is my content original and useful? Am I repeatedly posting essentially the same pin? Am I using extremely broad or irrelevant keywords? Is my account jumping between unrelated topics? Is there a technical issue? Am I expecting results only after a handful of pins? These are much better questions than why Pinterest doesn't like me, because Pinterest isn't sitting there thinking I don't like this creator. You need to think in terms of content, relevance, quality, consistency, and data. So if you have a new Pinterest account and it looks dead right now, here's what I want you to remember, guys. Low impressions do not automatically mean a dead account. A new account has a very little history, guys. Pinterest needs context. Your job is to provide that context through your content. Be clear about your topic, create related content, use specific keywords, make your pins understandable, give the account enough time to generate meaningful data, and most importantly, stop judging your account emotionally. Don't wake up every morning and ask, why am I only getting 4 or 5 impressions? Ask, what did Pinterest learn about my content this week? That's a much better question, guys, because once you start thinking that way, Pinterest becomes less of a guessing game. You start treating it like a laboratory. You publish, you observe, you analyze, you adjust, and then you publish again.